Hello everyone, my name's Jeremy. I'm here with my colleagues from the Refugee Support Devon organisation, which is based here in the city, and as its name implies, we provide support for refugees coming into the city. On Saturday the 26th of June, pretty well all day from about 11 o'clock, we're going to be exploring refugees who've come to this city over many centuries. And we're going to start with a group who are called the Huguenots. They came from across from Europe to find safety and refuge here. And our theme for the day will be how an area like ours has provided that safety and that refuge of people fleeing from their homes for whatever reason, persecution, warfare, suffering, sometimes illnesses of their own. So you'll hear from us in the next 10 minutes. Anyway, I'm now going to pass on to Adele, who is going to be talking about what will happen here actually on the river when you come on Saturday, the 26th of June.
Hello, my name is Adele, and I'm taking part in the project for Refugee Day, and I've got some actors who are really happy to take part, and we're going to have an enactment of how the Huguenots arrived in Exeter in boats, fleeing from the continent and fleeing from religious persecution and hoping to find a new life in Exeter. So I'm going to get the costumes soon from Plymouth Theatre Royal, and all costumed. They're going to get into boats that will be here, sail down the basin, around the corner, and then we'll have them greeted by the local mayor, a town crier, and some musicians, the pipes and the drums. So it will all look, hopefully, quite colourful and entertaining. Hope you can come and see it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Adele, and we'll be enjoying those scenes on the river. But clearly, when we're talking about refugees and people escaping from suffering, then that's not something to be taken lightly. And we have with us now one of our Refugee Support Devon volunteers and someone who is actually from the area. Wala, come and tell us, please, your experiences of your own, but also what we're going to be seeing and hearing on Saturday that week.
Hello, my name is Wala. I'm from Syria. I've been in the UK for 5 years with my husband and my children. I left Syria because of the troubled war. It's forced me to leave my country and to leave everything behind me. It wasn't easy for me and for my family, but I have to leave. I don't have any choice. I came to the UK despite all the difficulties I faced, me and my families. Despite all of these difficulties, I think we got it in the end, because refugees, I just want to tell more about refugees, to give a definition for refugees. Refugees, a lot of people, they have a wrong picture probably about refugees. They thought they are happy to move to country, they don't know anything about it. Different culture, different language, different system of life. So it's not easy to start from the beginning of refugees, but because of the determination and motivation for a lot of refugees, most of them, they just escape it and they said, okay, we left Syria because of the war and we have to start a new life. A new life, it wasn't that easy to start from the beginning, from the scratch, but refugees, they can do a lot. Refugees, they can be one of this society. Just I think they need a little bit time to be one of this society. Please.
Thank you very much, Wala, and heartfelt feelings there that you may also hear during the day on our Saturday. But if we had a solemn day all day, then I think you would all go very quickly home. So we want to try and make it a balance between regret at what's happened with refugees and celebration of what their new lives can be and what it has been, from those Huguenots right through to a group that may well arrive tomorrow. So Anita's in charge of the fun bits and the life and everything else. So Anita, come and tell us about that.
Hi guys, I'm Anita. I've organized for this project the music and the food site. Starting from 11:30 we will have the English bagpipes, which basically we start our event. At lunchtime we will go like a lively performances from people coming from different parts of the world. We will have the Indian sitar. We will have the Syrian bazok, and we will have also some lovely music coming from Inclusive Exeter, which is actually a very multicultural and friendly groups from Exeter. We will have at 4:30 the Bengali dances, the Filipino choir. Of course, we thought that what people love most is food. So starting from lunchtime, we will have food from some of our guests' homeland, and it will keep going for all of the day. So come and join us on that day.
Thank you very much, Anita. And Anita's being modest as an Italian. We do have Italian singers and dancers appearing in the programme as well. So if any of you listening to this play a musical instrument or sing or dance, then get in touch with us. There's plenty of space down at the transit shed. Have we mentioned that's where it's going to be? If you go to the customer house on the quayside, then the long building which is open at the sides, a 200-year-old building which used to be used for transit of goods. We're talking now about a more serious subject of transit of people, so we thought that was an appropriate base for it. Now we're going to look at a broader area of refugees currently related to immigration. I'd like to start bringing our guests back with a look at a very serious point of children trying to come in who've been separated from their families. If you imagine that the traumas of trying to get across borders, mountains, difficult terrain, pursued by armed men perhaps, when you get to a refugee camp you suddenly can't find your children. The trauma for the adults is bad, but for the children it can be even worse. And we are now facing a situation where what are called unaccompanied children are trying to get into countries like ours, and we're going to be talking about that during that time. So that's a particularly serious area. We'll also be going into immigration law. Those of you who read the newspapers will know there's a lot of controversy about who should be allowed into this country, who should be sent home, what refugees mean. And we'll have here with us, and they'll be in a big tent, they're the UN High Commissioner for Refugees is their official title, UN Refugee Agency, and they'll have a tent which is used by families who are fleeing and finding refuge temporarily in big camps in Jordan, in Turkey, in various parts around the world, Africa, Uganda, where I've been, lots of people in these types of temporary residence. So we're going to go on then and look at those things and take us through to what will be inclusive Exeter. So perhaps Wala can now speak a little bit about what she feels is inclusive about Exeter.
Like what Jeremy said, I have children, and I know from my experience it's not easy to get this journey. You're not gonna get back to your country, and it's really hard feeling when you get to aeroplane and 100% there is no way to get back to your family because of the Assad regime, because of the war, because of a lot of bad things now is happening in my country. We get back to my children. Since we arrived to the UK, my daughter, she started school. She just was unhappy. She was crying all the time. I was asking her, what's going on? She said, Mommy, I have no friends. I don't understand what they're saying. But after 2 weeks of that, my daughter, she started to speak English fluent. She's doing really well at school. She said, Mommy, I wish one day I can stand off on the stage and tell all the people what is refugee they can do. The refugee they can do a lot, mommy. So when I arrived to Exeter with them, Exeter, it's been for me very small city comparing with Syria where I was live. But by that time, I realized that Exeter is very safe place to live, especially when you have children. So I'm really happy with my experience in Exeter with the lovely people. We have a lot of agency, they helping refugee, like Refugee Support Devon, a lot of volunteers from the community. So I'm really glad we are here. I'm sad because of the reason why I am here, but in the same time, I'm really happy with my new life in Exeter and with new lovely people here.
Okay. We've been talking about our event on Saturday, 26th of June, and we really do hope that you'll come and join us. Or in fact, if you've got other things to offer, or if you want to do some posters or placards or whatever, then please contact your teacher and we'll work on that. But we also want to mention another event which is part of National Refugee Week, which is the showing of a major film. We're showing it ahead of its release, and coincidentally it just happens to be about refugees. So Anita's going to tell us about that, and hopefully you'll go and see that too.
As Jeremy mentioned, we organized a screening at Exeter Phoenix in the city centre of Exeter about a film named Limbo. It will be on the 16th of June. The film is based on Syrian refugees find themselves on a Scottish island. It will be very interesting, and the main character will play this kind of very nice Syrian music Syrian instruments, called the oud, and it will deal with English people trying to teach Syrians how to behave as a proper English person. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Anita. And just to remind you that the Phoenix is where that film is showing. It's Limbo, and on YouTube you can get a nice trailer which will show you the flavour of the film. And that's it for us today. We're going to move on now and carry on with all our arrangements. Hope to see you either of those days, and as I mentioned earlier, you might want to help us get the whole thing together, so please be in touch. Thank you very much for watching this, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.